Hi, this is Dreyer and welcome to the Financial Freedom Challenge, where our mission is to help you to create, to grow, to protect and to enjoy a life of abundance. And today, let's talk about freedom. We're at the place here, and today, all of this is mine. Everything that you can see here is mine. And it's going to cost me 150 rands. Now, luckily I brought Tanya with me. So it's going to cost us 300 rand because it's double that. And we can literally enjoy all of this. Now, what does financial freedom means, or specifically freedom? I think by now you understand and know that freedom is actually, there are four types or four classes of freedom, and it's almost like in different steps. So the first freedom that we want is financial freedom, because financial freedom is going to kickstart this whole process. That's the first part. The second thing is, once we've got financial freedom, then we need to have something that we call a time freedom, because to have all the freedom in the world but you haven't got the time freedom means absolutely nothing, because time, like you already know, is one of the most precious, scarce resources that we've got. And that's the only real and true scarce resource that we've got. And it's not really scarce, but the thing is that we need to optimize and utilize the time that's available to us, because there's 1,440 minutes each and every day of our lives. And unless we're going to capitalize on that, and unless we're going to use that the way that is going to help us and to benefit us to become financially free, it simply is not going to work. Okay, so, but I see a lot of people that's financially free, but they do not have the time freedom. So the trick is to have both financial freedom as well as time freedom. And then, once we've got that, that's going to give us another freedom, and that is the freedom of choice. And this is what we're busy doing right now, because we can choose where on this planet Earth we want to be. So we chose to be here today simply because we've never been here. So Tanya and myself, from time to time, we say, okay, let's go somewhere. We've got no idea where we're going. And then just decide on the, almost like as we travel, is this where we want to be for the day or for the week or for the month or even for the year? Okay. And this is what the freedom of choice starts to give us. Yesterday when we clocked in here, we asked, do they have places for us? A place for us? And they said yes, they've got the place, and it's 150 rand per person and 300 rand. And then the lady asked us and said, and she asked and say, where are you off to? Do you come back or are you on your way? And we said, we've got no idea where we're going. We know where we come from, but we've got no idea. And she looked at us almost bewildered. You don't know where you're going? And Tanya said, yeah, and we'll get there very slowly. So we're going nowhere slowly. I think there's a TV program like that. Okay, and she said immediately, I wish I could be in that position. Now, we've been in this position now for 23 years. And this is what I want for you. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing for you. Because I'd like to use myself as an example. You know, it's easy to teach, but you've never actually done that you teach. And this is how the educational system works. The way that the Wealth Creators University is working is that's not the way that it works. It works the way that it's based on what we've actually done, the results that we can prove and the results that's there. I've got no idea. Well, I think it's Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's Tuesday. But here's the trick. A lot of people say to me, honest, you must be very busy, and you are. And the truth is, I'm not. Because it's a choice. I can choose what I'm going to do with my time. And if I want to do something like this, it is a choice, because I've got the freedom of choice, because we are financially free and we do have the time freedom, and that allows me to be able to choose. Right? Now, there's another freedom that's even more important, and that's more incredible than all of this. And I discovered this only in 2002, because my goal in my, let's call it previous life, was to become financially free and to be able to retire, which we did at the age of 37. But then something weird happens, because, you know, to be able to have the time, the financial freedom, the time freedom, and the freedom of choice, you're going to find that there's going to come a time in your life where it's actually very, very boring to be on retirement. In other words, this idea, this dream that I had, that I one day want to retire and then do nothing. The universe doesn't work that way, because the universe, our purpose is to contribute, our purpose is to give back, our purpose is to help other people. But I did not know that then. So 7 years after I so-called retired, during the process, I started to discover that I'm not happy. You know, I started to get depressed, because it felt to me at that stage that there was no reason for me. Every single goal that I wanted to achieve, I've achieved before the age of 37. Every goal. And suddenly there was this massive void, this nothingness. And I started got drawn into that. And that's not a great feeling. You know, it's like you get depressed and more depressed and more depressed, up to a point where you start doubting yourself, you start doubting, why the hell do I live? You know, if this is all there is, then I've got no reason to be here. And luckily it's because of my wife Tanya. She said to me, Honest, go and teach. Go and teach people so that they do not make the same mistakes. And in doing that, I discover the true meaning of freedom. And that is what I want to share with you today. The true meaning of freedom. And that is what we call the freedom, purpose freedom. Or I call it purpose freedom. And that is where you can do what you want to do, how you want to do it. But the main thing that I think that we were born was to contribute, to give back. So once you're at the stage where you can start to give back, to give of yourself, in order to help other people to experience life to its fullest, so that they can contribute and give back and live their passion and live their dream. That is when, for the first time, we understand freedom. So we all strive for freedom, but we strive for the wrong freedom. We strive for retirement because we are conditioned by society that is freedom. And that is bullshit. That is not freedom. We do not want to get into a state where we're not free. And then we're conditioned to think that financial freedom or retirement equals financial independence. And to be financially independent is not to be financially free. And we need to understand that, because what happens at close to retirement, we see that people, and I've been a financial planner in my previous life, I see that people start lowering their expectations and their standard of living. So we can get to people, there's 3,630,000 people in South Africa that is financially independent. There are 3 million over the age of 60. If we define that as financially independent, these are people that are receiving an old age grant of 1,600 rand plus minus per month from the government. Those people have to do absolutely nothing, right? They've got nothing, and they get a passive income, believe it or not, of 1,600 rand just for being 60 years of age. And they can live with that because they have to live with that. And if you ask them, they're going to say, I'm happy. But are they happy? Is that what life is all about? To receive 1,600 rand grant and then say, okay, I have to live within this means. I find people, they are getting 10,000 rand and 20,000 rand per month. And then they say, no, I'm happy because I'm financially independent. And it's a bullshit story, because we are getting incredibly good at bullshitting ourselves, because we are not living the life. We are not living what I call the good life. And what is a good life? The good life is to have health, wealth, love and happiness. And these people say, I'm independent, but they do not live the good life. They do not experience freedom. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and why I want you to understand and get the message that we can have everything that we have. We don't have to have the limits and live within the limits of our pension fund or what we receive from a grant. We can have a life of abundance. We can do this here in South Africa, and I can do it anywhere in the world. And that is life. That is life. And I can at the same time contribute because I've got all the time in the world. And it's a choice that we can make. Right? It's, 300 Rand for the day for Tanya and myself. Everything here that you see, and I'm going to give you a panoramic view of it, it's ours for the day. For 300 lousy Rand. I don't need to worry in terms of who's going to mow the lawn. It's not my worry. I don't need to worry about the pump that is going to break so that they can't water the lawn. It's not my worry. I'm not worrying about something breaking. It's not my worry. I don't have to employ people to do this. I'm paying 300 Rand for the day. It is, 9,000 Rand, make it 10,000 Rand if I want to stay here for a month. Now, let's assume that we are going to eat out, right? For 1,000 Rand per day. Between Tanya and myself, 500 Rand per person, 1,000 for the day. That is 30,000 Rand per month. And we can have all of this for 30,000 Rand. And we can move from this place to another place that is basically similar. Because we've been to places that is actually nicer than this in order to camp, where we were alone for even less than 300 Rand per day. Right? But the majority of people here in South Africa will never be able to do just this. Because if we look at 30,000 Rand per month, less than 0.24% of all people over the age of 60 will be able to experience this that we experience. And then they won't be able to contribute and give back and share that with other people. And this is the power of being financially free. But we can't get to freedom unless we understand that we were born to have a life of abundance, that we were born to have all of this, and that all of this was given to us at the day that we were born. But then we let ourselves believe the nonsense that the system is teaching us, that we have to work and become the slaves of the system. And that we need to do this for 40, 45 years so that we can have financial independence. It's a bloody lie. And we've bought into that lie. And if you've bought into that lie, I want you to wake up and to realize that you are conditioned to become a slave of the system. And that you will never be free unless you take up the responsibility and get out of the damn system. That's the only way that we became financially free and have the freedom of purpose. There's no other way. All this bullshit that people are going to tell you that is going to be okay at retirement. I mean, this place should be packed with people. There should be a lot of people here today that's over the age of 60. They're not here. Where the hell are they? Well, they have to survive with what they've got. And that is not the way that we were supposed to live. And that is not the way that we were supposed. That's not the reason why we were born. At least not to me. So I want you to really think about your life. And what is it that you really and truly want? Not the stuff where you're going to lower your standards of living just to say, well, at least I'm alive. We're not supposed to be alive by living within constraints and within this confinement of we can't live, we can't experience life, because these are the experiences that we want. We were born to have a life of abundance, and I really and truly wish that for you. If there's something that I wish that I can give you, and I'm trying to give that to you, is to wake up and to take the responsibility to know that you were born to have it all. But there's only one way. You can't do that from an opportunity seeker mindset. You simply can't do it that way. You have to become a wealth creator. You have to take the responsibility. You have to challenge the system. You have to do it in a different way that most people will not do it, simply because they're too scared to let go. And you can't become free by clinging on to slavery. You have to let go of the mental mindset of being a slave by having a job, by giving your money to someone else, hoping that they're going to make you rich or free. Right. So, today, by the way, is the 45th day of this challenge, and the heart rate challenge. But it's for me another challenge, and that is that for 45 days I've made little videos like this, right? And that in itself is a challenge. So I'm halfway there, and I'm enjoying every single moment of it. A couple of days ago, I really battled to get to one of the goals in terms of 160. At least once during the exercise period. But this is an amazing journey. And I'm so glad that I can share a very small portion of my life with you and maybe help you in the process to get there yourself. What's the challenge for today? I think the challenge is, if you really want to become, a wealth creator, and in order to become financially free relative early in your life, then the only thing that's going to give it, Descartes, a great philosopher that was born in the middle of the 1500s, he basically said that the only truth is math. And this is what I've been doing since 1987, is to do the math. Everything that I do, I relate back to the math. I hated math at school, by the way, and I didn't like it. But if you understand the power of math, it's incredible, and we can literally take everything back to math. So, and the math is very simple. All you have to do is to determine your own financial freedom growth rate, and then to make sure that each and every investment or each and every business that you start by making sure that your investment growth rate will be higher than your financial freedom growth rate. And the only way to do that is to take the responsibilities in order to learn the skill sets in order to be able to do that. So, what's the action plan and action steps that we can take today in order to become financially free? I think first of all is to make sure that go and determine your financial freedom growth rate if you haven't done so. And then do an analysis on each and every investment that you've got to see if your investment growth rate is going to be higher than your financial freedom growth rate. If it's not, I guarantee you that you're wasting time. Then the third thing is, if you do not get that currently, go and learn the skill sets in terms of a business. And I'm not saying drop your job and start a business without having the skill sets. First learn the skill sets and take the business and invest no money in it. We teach that in the Rainmaker Startup Business and the Wealth Creators Method, where we take people through the process where you limit the risk by not taking any risk whatsoever. In other words, you're not taking a cent to invest in that business of yours, and you're not taking and using that as security, like you are bonding your house or mortgage over your house and use that money, or get the money from your pension fund and provident fund and from other people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where you take an idea, and sometimes my students do not even have an idea. Take the idea and convert that into the first rand or the first dollar, and then start growing that through the Wealth Creators Method from a rand to 10 rand, from 10 rand by applying the formula for riches to 1,000, from 1,000 to 1,000,000, from 1,000,000 to millions. Okay, that's the process, and those are skills. So go and learn and discover these skills and apply these skills in your life. So in closing, I've repeated this now for the last, almost 45 days. Always remember that in order to create financial freedom, you must make sure that today is going to be a perfect day. In other words, in essence, make sure that your investment growth rate is higher than your financial freedom growth rate, because then financially you can tick it off and you can say, today was a perfect day. And you can only do so if you follow the Wealth Creators strategy, apply the formula for riches, and build on the Wealth Creators method, where the methodologies on the different levels in the strategy, there's a step-by-step way that you can and that you have to acquire the skills and master the skills in order to move on. And that means that there will never ever be a day in your life that won't require you to take the responsibility. Because without that responsibility, you're going to stay an opportunity seeker. It's only by taking the responsibility that you can become a wealth creator, right? And if we look at wealth creators, we're going to find that there are 4 energy classes of people or different levels. The first is what we call a lagger and a zigger, and those are low energy vibrations, and that is where the domain of an opportunity seeker. And then you get the higher, the zagger and the blizzard stage, and this is where you become a wealth creator. And the only difference between the two is taking responsibility between the two classes: opportunity seekers and wealth creators. So take that responsibility and make it a really important part of your life. And on a day-to-day basis, think about this. Are you giving your money away to someone else, hoping that they're going to make you rich? Or are you busy learning the skills in order to get that? Know exactly what it is. I always wanted to be financially free. But it was only in 2002 that I actually understand that that's not what I wanted. I wanted to have freedom, not financial freedom. I wanted to have freedom where I could include financial freedom, the time freedom, the freedom of choice, and purpose freedom. That is what I really wanted. I got financial freedom way back when I was 37. But what is your intent? And make sure that you understand what that is, because that is your why. And then put in the time, put in the effort, and make sure that you operate within the right mindsets, not the mindsets of an opportunity seeker, but the mindsets of a wealth creator. And then put in massive actions. In the beginning, on a level 1, 2, 3, and 4, when it comes to your business and when it comes to your investment, it's going to take time. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears, because you have to learn this. You have to go out and apply it. You are going to make mistakes, but each and every one of these mistakes with the right mindset is going to be experienced, and it's going to help you, because you build the competency, because that is what competency is. It's to build the knowledge, the applied knowledge, to gain the experience and to gain the skill sets. And for that reason, you have to take massive action in each and every one of these levels, and then consistently doing what needs to be done. It's the only way. There's no other way. That's the shortcut. That, although it seems like a long process, it's not a long process, because that's the only way in order to get the results that you want, in order to become financially free. So each and every action that you're going to take today is either going to take you one step closer or take you one step away from financial freedom. And the choice will always be yours. So during the day, you're going to find that there's going to be thousands and tens of time where you can make the choice, and that choice is going to determine the outcome, and the outcome is exactly where you are right now, of all the choices, of all the responsibilities that you've taken in the past. So if you want to guarantee yourself financial freedom, I want you to apply the Wealth Creators strategy, the formula for riches, the Wealth Creators method, and make sure that you make financial freedom your, at least financial freedom, but actually freedom, your number one priority. Now, as always, if you've got any comments or suggestions or questions regarding financial freedom, then please leave them in the comment box below, and I will help if I can. And remember to subscribe to Hannes Dreyer, blog.hannesdreyer.com, if you're not already subscribed, if you want more information on financial freedom and to become a wealth creator. Regarding my heart rate, this morning I battled to get to 160, but I've done it, and I've done what I was supposed to do, and I feel good about that. So it's a perfect day. Please share this video if you think, I know this is a longer video than normal, but if you think that it can help other people, please share that with them if you think that it can benefit them. And I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video as much as I've enjoyed making this video for you. Right, and then, I'll see you then tomorrow.